Joining me now is Virginia Congressman Jim Moran. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight.
Be with you.
I was somewhat surprised when Jim McDermott, your colleague and friend, said that to me today on the radio, that there are some in the Congress that want the president to say, okay, I've done all I can do. Time now to turn to the election. Are you one of those Democrats?
No, I'm not. And President Obama is not going to give up. He's going to continue to fight. But it's pretty clear that many in the Republican leadership, I think most, would rather see President Obama fail than this country succeed right now. They feel that the long-term objective is to gain control. And when you're talking about Paul Ryan, you know, he will tell you he's an acolyte at the altar of Ayn Rand. She was a cult figure in the 1960s who preached the virtue of selfishness, basically a winner-take-all economy. And, of course, that's what we have today, when the 400 richest families in America have as much wealth as the poorest 150 million Americans. 400 versus 150 million.
Yeah.
But they would tell you that's the way it ought to be. That's the natural course of things. You know, in the first year of the recession, those 400 wealthiest families made $300 billion more, while the average American lost a quarter of their retirement savings. But that's okay with them, because the wealthy, the winners in our society are doing very well, and so they think that their philosophy is working. But that's not what America's all about. They're willing to cut the very programs that provide upward mobility for Americans. You know, you start with child nutrition, Head Start, public education, higher education, giving housing subsidies for low-income families to live in middle-income neighborhoods. Those are all the ways of upward mobility.
Well, Congressman,
but they're cutting all those programs.
They certainly do want to cut them, and they've proven that, and they don't want to work with this president at all. So the suggestion is that the president should go into the campaign mode. Now, the Republicans have said no to 400,000 jobs. Now, we need a hell of a lot more than 400,000 jobs, but this would be a start. And the president wants 0.2% of Americans would be affected by this. If they're not going to go along with that, what are they going to go along with? Probably nothing. Why not go into the campaign mode?
Because we care about this country. We're not in it to win campaigns. We're in it to make a positive difference in the lives of Americans. That's why Barack Obama is president. I'm convinced of that. That's why the majority, at least of my Democratic colleagues, continue to fight every day.
So can the president accomplish anything with John Boehner when he has the gavel in his hands?
You know, Ed, this is still a democracy. If your viewers and other viewers will say, look, we're not going to vote for you if you don't do the right thing. We're talking about 400,000 jobs, but 280,000 of those jobs are teachers. Imagine what happens when you have to have 16 students per teacher in a classroom. Nobody's going to get educated, and that's the next work. That's our future workforce. We're killing off the seed that will give us strength in the future.
And you think the American people will figure that out in the next year? I think they will too, but I think they're awfully frustrated and beyond. Congressman, great to have you with us tonight. Thank you. I appreciate your time.